Hi guys, my name is Trinh and today I'm here to do a book haul. It's been 5 months? 6 months since I've done a book haul, so yeah, there are a lot of books right next to me. I will say that from March to May I bought a lot of books because I was just finding any excuse to buy books. Sometimes I'm like, I'm so bored, let me just like place an order. In May I graduated from college, so of course I placed another order. I placed an order to like congratulate myself for graduating. Also, this is part 1 of the book haul. In this video, I'm going to show you the novels that I have gotten for the past 5 to 6 months. In part 2, I will show you the graphic novels and manga that I got for the past 6 months or so, because I got really into manga and graphic novels and comic books and stuff like that. So yeah, 2 parts to this book haul, which is a good thing, I think. I don't know. So these first 2 books are actually gifted to me for my birthday. So I got this back in February. It's been a long time. I got On the Come Up by Angie Thomas from Sandy and Radio Silence from my friend Olivia. So thank you so much for giving these books to me for my birthday, because these 2 books mean everything. So On the Come Up, I believe this is a companion novel to The Hate You Give. If you don't know, that book is about police brutality. I know that the main character in this book, she wants to be a rapper. That's all I know, and honestly I am planning to reread The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas sometime this year, and afterward I will read On the Come Up. So I am very excited for this. So like I said, thank you so much Sandy for giving this book to me for my birthday. Radio Silence, on the other hand, this is a book that everyone has talked about. Not everyone, sorry, but a lot of people have talked about this book, and of course whenever someone talks about Radio Silence, I always want to read it. Honestly, all I know is that this is a contemporary novel and the main character, her name is Frances. I feel bad for not giving you a good synopsis, but hey, you should know that by now, because I'm not known for giving good synopsis in book hauls. I'm just saying. But anyway, I love the cover so much. I love Alice Oseman's novels because the UK paperbacks are so cute because they're so colorful, and I love that they match. Really dig this. So thank you so much Olivia, because we used to work together, and of course I love Olivia so much. So when she asked me like what I want for my birthday, I asked for this. So thank you so much again. This means everything to me. Now let's talk about Chain of Gold, because I have 3 copies to show you. The very first copy is the collector's first edition. So this is the US hardcover. I read this the moment I got it, so as you can see it is annotated. I have a reading vlog and a book review and discussion for this book, so I will have the links down in the description box below. If you don't know, this is a sequel to the Infernal Devices trilogy, so it follows the children of the characters from TID. It's very fun. I read this back in March with Sandy, so it was very fun. Back in March, wow. So this came out pre-quarantine. It's been a long time, as you can see. And then here I have the Waterstones edition. So as you can see, this is what, this is gorgeous. Holy shit, wow, this is so beautiful. So it's purple, and of course the lettering, they're all in gold. In the back it has the synopsis. So I want to say thank you to my cousin. Thank God for her, because I have a cousin who lives in the UK. I basically asked her like, hey, can you buy this book for me and Sandy, because like I asked Sandy like, hey, you want to buy this book, because like we can basically just pay the money ourselves. But the thing is, we didn't want to pay for the shipping because it's just so much. So I asked my cousin to buy 2 copies of this book and then ship it to the United States, and then we would pay her back. But my cousin is like, that's okay, I will just send you the books. So yeah, I got this for free. Thank you so much to my cousin Jane. I love her so much. So I have this, and then of course I have another copy of Chain of Gold. So this is the Fairyloot edition. A couple months ago I unboxed the Chain of Gold box. I have the video down in the description box below. I have a hard time deciding which one is my favorite. If you have a favorite, let me know. But personally, I kind of like this one. I just love this shade of purple. I think it's so pretty. But this edition is also stunning. And then in the back it says, love cuts deeper than any blade. All of these editions are gorgeous. So yes, I have 3 editions of Chain of Gold. Please don't judge me, because there's a good chance it will be like this for Chain of Iron, which is the 2nd book of this trilogy. The next book is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. A couple months ago, my boyfriend and I did this video where I read his favorite book of all time, and he chose this. So thank you so much Jonathan for buying this book for me, because I proposed the idea of like buying the book for the person. So hopefully in the future I can do a video where he reads my favorite book of all time. So of course I want to buy a book for him. But basically this book is about a boy named Kafka. I'm so dumb. I literally read this months ago and I'm like, oh my god, what's the main character's name? First of all, it's in the title, okay? Anyway, the main character, his name is Kafka, and in the beginning of this book, he runs away from home because he's trying to find his long-lost mother and sister, and then on the way, he meets new people, strange things happen. It's all about the journey, and let me just say, this book is weird. Okay, move on. So a couple of months ago, I had this video idea where I read classics. So there is like a theme to it, but the gist of it is that I have to read like a few classics, and you're not going to see that video because I'm like, I cannot do that. But I did buy a few classics from Book Depository. So this is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde and Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So this is the Penguin English Library edition, and I love this edition. For the future and for the rest of my life, I am planning to buy classics from this edition because I want them all to match. Picture of Dorian Gray, I really want to read it because I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. So I believe it's about Dorian Gray, a beautiful yet corrupt man. All I know is that he gave up his soul to be immortal, but basically there's like a portrait of him and then it got worse throughout the novel. I think that's how it is. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and the thing is, I never really read classics, but I would love to read this one. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've read this book before, but it's been years, so I don't remember anything. I would love to reread this book because number one, I want to annotate it, and number two, I want to revisit this novel because, like I said, it's been like at least 4 years. Yeah, I got these two books. I love them so much. Look how pretty. Oh my god, I love this edition. So sometime in April, I got the Percy Jackson books in hardcover. A quick backstory, back in 2013, I bought the paperbacks, and the thing is, I prefer having hardcovers. I read the first book, The Lightning Thief, using my paperback copy, but I found that it was a pain in the ass to annotate it because the spine was so thick, so of course I had to like bend it, and then I just hate that I'm like bending the book so much to annotate, and honestly it was just so difficult. I think to myself, like, you know what, I really want to find the Percy Jackson books in hardcover, but the problem is these are out of print. I was on a mission to find these books in hardcover, but they must have the old covers. So I got this on 8books.com, and I got the last 4 books on Depop. So I highly recommend checking Depop because a lot of times people are selling the old books. As you can see, this is The Lightning Thief. If you don't know, this book follows Percy Jackson and how he is a demigod. His dad is Poseidon, his mom is Sally Jackson, and he's just trying to defeat the bad guys. So this is the first book. And then here we have The Sea of Monsters. So this book is much skinnier because this is less than 300 pages. You can see I annotated this copy, and I love this book so much. The Titan Curse. Love this book. Oh my god, Artemis, a queen. But anyway, this is what it looks like, and yeah, I annotated this book. This is The Battle of the Labyrinth, and as you can see, it looks beautiful. I just love hardcovers so much. I am reading this book right now, so I'm on page 250. I'm almost done with this book, so I am planning to finish this tonight. This is The Last Olympian, and this is what it looks like, and as you can see, it is not annotated because I have not started this book. I am so happy to have all of these books in my life because I love hardcovers. Of course, I needed to buy Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This book is about these two sisters named Camino and Yahaira. They share the same father, but they don't know about each other. In the beginning of this book, when the father flies back to the Dominican Republic, he gets into a plane crash and he passed away. And then of course, these two girls find out about each other and they have to like figure things out. This book was amazing, and I loved the cover so much, and underneath the dust jacket, so pretty. I believe this front cover right here, this represents Camino and the Dominican Republic, and then in the back this represents Yahaira and Brooklyn. But yeah, I love this book very much, and Elizabeth Acevedo is like one of my favorite authors of all time, so of course whenever she comes out with something, I just buy immediately. The next book that I bought is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I finished this book already, as you can see. After finishing the first 2 books, I needed to get the 3rd book immediately, and I'm so glad I did because I really enjoyed this book. book. I love the cover. I think it looks so pretty. I'm so glad I read this book because it was really great. Of course, in May I had to buy The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Susan Collins, but the thing is I regret buying this because I ended up not loving it, to be honest. I give this book a 2 out of 5 stars. I read this book 2 months ago and I talk more about this in my mid-year book freakout tag. I really thought I needed this book in my collection because it looks nice when all of the books are together, because in a way this is like the prequel of The Hunger Games. But I should have read this book on Libby because then I could have saved my money. It's fine now. I annotate this book. I kind of have to keep it. I read this book with Jonathan, so in a way I have good memories, but still I kind of wish that I didn't buy this book, but it's too late now. Of course, I got A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmer. I read the first book, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I really loved it. Afterward, I was like, I need to get this book immediately. I need to read it as soon as possible. And the thing is, I haven't read this book. So I definitely want to read this book sometime in 2020. So hopefully in the next few months, you will see this in one of my wrap-up videos. Now, these 2 books, I got them on Depop because I was just browsing and I was like, wait a minute, the price looks really good. Let's quickly talk about Vengeful. So if you don't know, this is the second book of the Vicious duology. Is it a duology? I don't know. But basically, this is the second book and I love Vicious very much. So I really want to continue with this series. I believe I got this book for like $10, which is a pretty good deal considering this book is $26. But yeah, I bought this book and I'm planning to reread Vicious before I read this book. That is one of the books that I got on Depop. And then literally the next day, I bought this book on Depop because I was like, ooh, I want to read this book. Thanks to Chloe from Books with Chloe. She did a reading vlog where she read this book and she said that, you know, it made her cry. It's one of her new favorite books. So of course I was like, ooh, let me check that out. All I know about this book is that the main character, her name is Kiko. She is biracial. I believe she's an artist and she's going through some tough things in her life. I think she's like abused by her family members. So I know that this book tackles a lot of heavy topics. So please be cautious when you read this book. Hopefully I can read this sometime in 2020, but if not, then it's okay. I can just hold it in my TBR and then read it next year. And now the last book is The Bright Test by Helen Huang. So I read this on Libby, loved it, and of course I really wanted my own copy, but I did not want to buy it on Amazon because I'm trying not to buy shit on Amazon anymore. So I went on 8 books and I got this used, and I kid you not, the moment it got to my place, I regretted buying this on 8 books because this is really used. This used to be a library book, so as you can see, it has like the tag right here and it's kind of dented up here, and then on the inside it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of dirty, it's kind of bent. I didn't want to be high maintenance, so I was like, you know what, fine, I'm just gonna keep this copy, and did my annotation in here. If you don't know, this is an adult romance novel with a shitload of Vietnamese characters. The main characters in this book are Kai and Esme. Kai has never gone into a relationship, so his mother went back to Vietnam to find someone who's like the perfect match for her son. She meets Esme and Esme is like, hell yeah, let's go to the United States. So of course she arrives in the US. I believe they live in California, and she lives with Kai for like 2 or 3 months, and then eventually they fall in love. So this book was amazing. It was so good. It was literally everything that I could ever ask for. If you're Vietnamese, oh my god, I highly recommend this book because the representation was phenomenal. The characters, they speak in Vietnamese, they eat Vietnamese food. You see Vietnam briefly, so it's nice, but a majority of this book takes place in California. So it was so good, and yeah, I love this book so damn much. I'm so happy to have this book in my life. So hi, it's present day Trinh. I'm currently editing this video and I decided to just film this really short clip of me showing some more books that I got for the past few days because I cannot stop buying books. But then also I got a very exciting book from a publisher, so I really want to showcase it. First, I placed an order on 8books.com because I just really love that website. I prefer to buy my books used because I want to save a little bit of money. So I got Demigods and Magicians, Percy and Annabeth Meet the Canes. So this book is a companion book kind of thing. And the thing is, I finished the Percy Jackson series last month and I just really love the series very much. So of course I find that I need this in my collection. So of course I got this used, and not gonna lie, it's hella used. Like you can literally tell that this is not in the best condition, but it's totally okay. I'm very glad to have this in my collection. And then of course I got A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. So I reread An Ember in the Ashes last month. I really enjoyed that book way more than I thought. I was like planning to just give give up on the series because I read the first book like back in 2015. I don't know why, I just never continued with the series. So in a way, I unhauled the first book, but then Sandy told me that she was planning to reread all of the books in the series. So I decided to join her and I reread An Ember in the Ashes and I really enjoy it. So of course, now I really want to make an effort to continue with the series. Of course, I bought this book as soon as possible and I'm so glad that it's here. And honestly, the condition is pretty good. So very happy about this. And if you don't know, basically in the first book, we follow two characters named Elias and Leia. Elias is like one of the soldiers who go to this school. It's actually a horrible school, but anyway, he's like a decent character. Leia is a slave and she works for the Commandant. I have not read this book at all, so I am like very excited to read this because I'm planning to read this in August. Hopefully you will see this in my August wrap up. And now the books that I got from the publisher, holy shit. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to Penguin Teen because they really spoil me, okay? So oh my god. Okay, let me just get my shit together. They gave me Wicked Fox in paperback and Vicious Spirits in hardcover. So this is the final version of the book and I'm just so fortunate and so happy to have this because this book hasn't come out yet. This is going to be out on August 18th, so mark your calendars. It's a very exciting day because if you really enjoy Wicked Fox, the sequel is here and of course the cover is stunning. So I will show you side by side. So this is my copy of Wicked Fox. As you can see, it is annotated and oh my god. I'm just really happy. If you don't know, the first book follows a Gumiho named Mi-young and a normal boy named Ji-hoon. In a way, they get into a very complicated relationship situation kind of thing. It's actually very, very complicated. I read this book for the very first time in December. I reread this in July and now I am ready to read Vicious Spirit. I can't believe I have this. Like, I'm so happy. So yeah, thank you so much to Penguin Teen. That's about it. Those are the 4 books that I really want to put in this video because I just got them recently. So those are all of the books that I bought for the past few months. Honestly, after doing this book haul, it's not that bad. Wait, I forgot this is part 1. I take that back. Totally forgot that I have to do part 2, so you will see part 2 later. I'm very, very excited for that one because I will talk about graphic novels, manga, comic books. But for now, these are all of the novels that I have bought in the past few months. So if you're interested in any of them, I will have the links down in the description box below. So that's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos and I will see you guys later. Goodbye!